Bir Tikendrajit. The name still echoes through the lush valleys and misty hills of Manipur. He is remembered as a prince, a warrior, a patriot. To the Manipuri people, he is a legend, a symbol of resistance against British imperialism. Tikendrajit dared to stand against the might of the British Empire. He fought for the independence of his beloved Manipur. His courage and strategic brilliance made him a formidable adversary. Tikendrajit's story is one of bravery and tragedy. It is a story of a prince who refused to bow to foreign rule. He chose the path of resistance, knowing the risks involved, and his fight was not just for political power. It was a fight for the soul of Manipur, for its culture and its people. Tikendrajit understood the threat posed by the British. He saw their relentless expansion across India, crushing kingdoms and cultures in their wake. He knew that Manipur would be no different. He refused to let his homeland suffer the same fate. The prince's defiance ignited a firestorm. It challenged the very foundation of British authority in the region. His struggle became a beacon of hope, not just for the people of Manipur, but for all those yearning for freedom from British rule. Manipur in the late 19th century was a kingdom in turmoil. Internal conflicts and power struggles plagued the royal family. The British, ever opportunistic, saw this as a chance to further their own interests. They began to interfere in Manipuri affairs, exploiting the divisions within the kingdom. The British East India Company, hungry for resources and power, had already sunk its claws into vast swathes of India. Manipur, with its strategic location and rich resources, was a prize too tempting to resist. The company's agents, with their promises of support and alliances, began to manipulate the various factions within the Manipuri court. This interference only deepened the existing divisions. The kingdom became a stage for proxy wars, with the British pulling the strings from the shadows. They played one faction against the other, weakening the kingdom from within. Bir Tikendrajit saw through the British game. He recognized their tactics for what they were, a calculated attempt to divide and conquer. He understood that the internal conflicts were playing directly into the hands of the British. His own family members, blinded by ambition and short-sighted alliances, failed to see the larger threat. Tikendrajit knew that a divided Manipur would be easy prey for the British. He resolved to unite his people and resist the encroaching colonialism. He believed that a strong and united Manipur was the only way to counter the British threat. His determination to protect his homeland would set him on a collision course with the British Empire. Bir Tikendrajit was not content with mere words of protest. He knew that action was needed to counter the growing British influence. He began to forge a resistance movement, rallying loyal Manipuris to his cause. He understood that to fight the British, he needed to understand their tactics, their strengths, and their weaknesses. Tikendrajit established secret training camps in the remote hills and dense jungles of Manipur. He recruited young men and women, instilling in them a sense of patriotism and a burning desire to fight for their freedom. He knew that the British had superior weaponry. To counter this, he focused on guerrilla warfare tactics, emphasizing speed, agility, and knowledge of the terrain. He studied the art of war, learning from ancient Manipuri military manuals and observing British military drills. He incorporated traditional Manipuri fighting styles with modern guerrilla tactics. He trained his recruits in camouflage, ambush, and hit-and-run tactics. He knew that to defeat a larger force, they needed to be unpredictable and strike from the shadows. Tikendrajit's charisma and leadership qualities drew people to him. He inspired his followers with his unwavering belief in their cause. He taught them to value their independence and to fight for their homeland. He was not just a prince, but a skilled strategist and a natural leader. He personally oversaw the training of his troops, sharing his knowledge and inspiring them with his own bravery. These secret training camps became the crucible of Manipuri resistance. They were not just military training grounds, but also centers of nationalist fervor. Here, under the watchful eye of Bir Tikendrajit, a new breed of Manipuri warriors was being forged, ready to lay down their lives for their motherland.